Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I'm back with another Dark Park film reviews. And today this is a Dollar Tree video or $1.25 video, I guess, depending on who you talk to. Sadly, I do have to report that what I'm going to be showing you is not new. I have not been to a Dollar Tree in probably maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. I just kind of gave up for a little bit. But these are still pretty new. This is a stack of 10 from one of my bags. I still have like a bag on my table and I got a bag on the floor. And so these are, I guess, fairly new. You know, since I haven't gotten anything new, you should be able to find them. It is a mixed bag of different types of movies. So like I said, it's a total of 10. 9 of them are DVD and 1 is Blu-ray. So let's get to it. So our Blu-ray is called Voice from the Stone. And I got this because of Emilia Clarke. I like her. I am one of the only people who liked her as Sarah Connor. I don't know why people didn't like her. I know she's not Linda Hamilton, but I thought she was fine. I liked it. And I never really watched Game of Thrones, but I did watch the important scenes with her. So, and then I felt I didn't need to watch it anymore. If you know what I mean. So I picked it up because I like her. And here is the side. Here we got the back. And on the front here, it says, "Silence is Calling." This is a combo Blu-ray DVD. Says Emilia Clarke is mesmerizing. That is from Chris Alexander from comingsoon.com. The special features are interview with Emilia Clarke and Amy Lee Speak to Me music video. This is rated R for some sexuality and nudity. Now I'm on board. Looks like it is widescreen. It's 90 minutes. Directed by Eric D. Howell. Originally came out 2016, but got released on Blu-ray 2017. Yeah, well, let's give it a read. Let's see what this is about. It's short. Let's see. A haunting thriller set in an isolated castle in 1950s Tuscany. Voice from the Stone tells the story of Verena, a determined young nurse who is hired to help the mute student heir within. Young nurse who is hired to help the mute young heir, H-E-I-R, within. But the more she observes him, the more Verena becomes convinced he has fallen under the spell of a powerful and otherworldly persona trapped in the villa's stone walls, one that seems to be rapidly intertwining with her own. Okay, so it's like a horror film. Okay. I mean, it's nice that it's rated R. All right. I'm up for a horror flick with her in it. Why not? Or thriller or whatever it might be. Let's take a look inside. So we got the DVD, and then there's the Blu-ray. All right. Moving on. We got a film called The Mercenary. And it says redemption isn't free. It does star Louis Mandylor, who was in the Saw series. Dominique Vanderberg, who might be this guy here. Not much more on the cover. There we go. Where can you see it? There you go. Got our back. And oh, that is the lengthy review right there. Let's see. Delivers all the hard-hitting action viewers crave while blending it with a story of a warrior ready to retire but forced to compete or to complete one final mission, and that is from Kung Fu Kingdom. This is directed by Jesse V. Johnson. Looks like it originally came out 2018. Not rated, widescreen, 92 minutes. Uncorked. We got uncorked. Let's see. Max is a legionnaire turned mercenary. When a mission in South America goes wrong, Max, with 2 X's, is left for dead, but he is nursed back to health and reborn with a new outlook on life. Oh, God, he might be a born-again Christian. They're the worst. He tries to live tranquility within the confines of his new beliefs, surrounded by his new friends at the church. But his peaceful days are short-lived when mercenaries he used to work with cross his path again, and he is forced to revisit and face his own demons. His brutal past, war, and violence have come looking for him again. Okay. The Mercenary. All right. Our next one is an oldie. Oldie. And it is Hawaii. So this is part of that MGM stuff that came out with like all those Woody Allen movies. Let's see, right back there. You can see them on that shelf. It's all the MGM stuff. So this is old school. This is Julie Andrews, Max von Sydow, Richard Harris, based on the novel by James A. Michener. An epic adventure as grand as the Pacific. I've never seen this. I've heard mixed. There's the side. And got its back. It says fascinating, absorbing, scenically beautiful, says box office. This is directed by George Roy Hill. That's a good thing. Walter Murch. That's a good thing. Yeah. Elma Bernstein. Not rated, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Color, 1966. Two cultures collide in the vast, lavish, and truly spectacular film starring Julie Andrews, Max von Sydow, Richard Harris, Gene Hackman, and Carol O'Connor. Adapted from James A. Michener's Puzzler Prize-winning novel and nominated for 7 Oscars, this magnificent, gloriously filmed epic is adventuresome picture making. Is adventuresome picture making a credit to the industry? That's the Film Daily. A riveting entertainment. They came to bring God. Second film that deals with God. They came to bring God, but instead brought disease and destruction. Sounds like the human race. The Reverend Abner Hale Van Sydow and his Gentile wife, oh God, Jur Usha, who's Julie Andrews, attempt to convert early 19th century Hawaiian natives to Christianity, ... Oh God. But find themselves ill-equipped to endure the unexpected tribulations of paradise. Surging with excitement and windstorms, firestorms, shark attacks, and magnificent island scenery, Hawaii shines as passionately as the island paradise itself. Well, they could say what they want, but we did have this little thing called the Crusades, lasted for 100 years. That, and if you didn't convert to Christianity, you basically got your head cut off. So, there you go. Don't know if I'll ever watch this one, but it's got a great cast. Maybe I'll give it a shot one day, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why I've heard mixed. The next one is a horror film, Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest. Here's its side. Nothing on the front there. Back. And oh, this is Scream Factory. You're right down there, Scream Factory. Okay. And let's see, it says a legendary horror from the director of Mermaid, Lake of the Dead. Oh, okay. I haven't seen that, but I've wanted to see it. I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. The director has a name I cannot even start to pronounce. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Oh, it's Russian. That's why. Not even going to attempt it. Yeah, everything on here is Russian. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother. So yeah, it's listed as Shout Studios and Scream Factory. It's not rated. 2020. Does not list any special features or anything. English subtitles, color. Approximate feature running length is give or take 97 minutes. It says a young family hires a nanny to look after their children, ... But after gaining the trust of the unexpected parents, their new guardian begins exhibiting some alarmingly unnatural behavior. When his parents don't believe his claims, son Igor is left to contend with the problem on his own, ... Until one day he discovers that the nanny and his young sister have disappeared without a trace. With his parents now in a trance-like state, with no recollection of ever having a daughter, Igor becomes convinced that his family has crossed paths with the ancient demon Baba Yaga. Enlisting his friends to save his sister, he must stop the dreaded Baba Yaga before his parents forget him too. That sounds kind of cool. We do a double feature of Mermaid and Baba Yaga. Okay. All right, this is the next one is kind of like back in the days when they did stuff like Young Guns 2 and all that type of stuff, where you took Outlaws and put like 20 somethings in them and made kind of Brat Pack type movies. This is around that time period, and this is American Outlaws. And this is an older one because it's got this clip box. So these are older. And this is Colin Farrell, Scott Conn, Ali Lauder. It says, this much fun can't be legal. So let's take a look at the back here. Oh my God, that's a lot. The review is rousing and action-filled, a handsome and skillful retelling of a legend. Kevin Thomas, Los Angeles Times. Oh, wow, there's a fair amount of special features on this. Les Mayfield directed this. It's produced by James G. Robinson. Colin Farrell, Scott Conn, Ali Lauder. Kathy Bates, Timothy Dalton, music by Trevor Banyan. That's not bad. It says Warner Brothers. It is widescreen. PG-13 for Western violence. Parents are strongly cautioned. Color 94 minutes. 2001. Let's see here. So sharpshooting DVD player special features. I always love how they say these things back in the day. Instead of just saying special features, it's got to be DVD player. So let's see. We got a feature-length commentary with the director, the co-writer, and the editor. Behind-the-scenes featurettes. And then it lists a few of them. Deleted scenes, storyboards, production stills, cast and crew biographies and film highlights, publicity gallery, theatrical trailers, artwork, director-approved transfer, DTS and Dolby Digital 5.1 soundtracks remastered for home theaters. Then there's something else on here. Let's see. Enhanced features for your DVD-ROM PC. Screenplay viewer with storyboards, the original theatrical website, and web links. Wow. So I forget who Colin Farrell is supposed to be playing here, but it's funny that they always take outlaws that murdered people and make them seem almost like family men, type of thing. When they were outlaws. I mean, there's a reason why they were hunted by the police and other people. So let's see. Who does Colin Farrell play? Two corrupt railroad barons, Jesse James and Cole Younger, are meddlers, troublemakers, ingrates, and candidates for rope neckties. See, they're going to hang them, rope neckties. To the downtrodden folks in and around Liberty, Missouri, there's something far different. They're heroes. Jesse, Cole, and their tough and ready gang ride to the rescue of farmers terrorized by a railroad's land grab scheme in American Outlaws, a dust and thunder update of Western lore starring Colin Farrell. He was in Tigerland as charismatic Jesse, Scott Conn, Varsity Blues, as fiery Cole, Ali Lauder, Final Destination, as Jesse's gutsy wife Z, and then this is in quotes, if I were to design the perfect outlaw band, Detective Alan Pinkerson, Timothy Dalton, but they don't say what he's in. That sucks. James Bond. I'm going to add it. My favorite James Bond says this gang is what I would create. He may not have created it, but he sure has his hands full of dealing with it. There you go. This is also Morgan Creek, along with Warner Brothers. Okay, so you got the scene index and some pictures and then the disc. Okay. One day I should watch this. I mean, I enjoyed stuff like, Posse and Young Guns 1 and 2 and a lot of those. So I don't think I ever saw this in the theater. I don't think I've even seen it. I should watch it. The next one is called Two Lovers. And I got to be honest, I don't know why I picked it up. I think maybe it was the only film that was there that was new, maybe, or I just missed it. But Two Lovers. And I am not a Joaquin Phoenix fan. I did like him as the Joker, but I'm just not a fan. I like his brother River, but I'm not a huge fan of him. This also has Gwyneth Paltrow, who I'm also not a big fan of, and Vanessa Shaw is in it. It says the best American drama of the year from Hollywood Reporter. This is from Magnolia Home Entertainment. So I've mentioned this in another video, is I think I just buy to buy. And this is one of those ones that were probably just buy to buy because some big names were in it. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I have no idea. I may or may not ever find out. It did get 4 stars. One of the best films of 2009, says the San Francisco Chronicle. Special features, audio commentary with director James Gray, behind the scenes deleted scenes, an HD net, a look at 2 lovers, and photo gallery. 2 other reviews. Phoenix gives a superbly raw ... performance. That is from USA Today. There's something grand about the film's sincerity and the intensity of its emotions. That is New York Times. And yeah, so the film's directed by James Gray. So anybody else? Isabella Rossellini, Eliza's Cotes. Okay, so it's got some decent people in it. I mean, I don't hate Joaquin Phoenix or Gwyneth Paltrow, but I could just kind of live without them. It is rated R for language, some sexuality, and brief drug use. Okay. 110 minutes. It was from 2008, but looks like released on video 2009. It's color. It is widescreen. Let's see here. Let's see. Leonard, Joaquin Phoenix, is a charismatic but troubled young man who moves back to his childhood home following a recent breakup. While recovering under the watchful eye of his parents, Leonard meets 2 women in quick succession. Michelle, Gwyneth Paltrow, a mysterious and beautiful neighbor who is exotic and out of place in Leonard's staid world. And Sandra, Vanessa Shaw, the lovely and caring daughter of a businessman who is buying out his family's dry cleaning business. Leonard becomes deeply infatuated by Michelle, while mounting pressure from his family pushes him towards committing to Sandra. Leonard is forced to make a difficult decision between the impetuousness of desire, comfort, or love, or risk retreating back into his heartbreak. Wow, if all of us only had that problem with 2 women wanting us, or if you're a woman, 2 men, or whatever it might be, but it's you get my point. I mean, how horrible. I mean, gosh, I feel so sorry for him. So there we go, though. I don't know, it could be okay. I don't know. Stuff like this kind of just annoys me, because it's like a lot of us have a hard enough time just finding one person to be with, and this guy has 2 women, and oh my God, the drop, oh, how horrible. So we'll see. All right, our next one is called The Devils Fairground. And it has nobody known. It says, welcome to the gateway to hell. I'm told this is a sequel. Mr. Jonathan Moody over at Indie Film Cafe told me this is a sequel to a film. I'm blanking on the doll's name. It's the movie has a doll's name. I think even the cover has a doll on it. And I guess like The Devils Fairground is a retitle, and it has nothing to do with like what the box is. So I don't know. I'll have to see. I believe I own the first one, so I'll have to check it out. It's by the same filmmakers. But there's its side, got its back. So let's see here. There's no reviews on this. Yeah, it looks like they're brothers. So it's Gerald and Michael Crumb. And yeah, they're all over these titles. 2019. The film's not rated. Looks like it's widescreen. 97 minutes horror. This is ITN. So let's see. The stars of two competing paranormal television shows converge on an abandoned amusement park, which ends up being the epicenter to hell. Trapped with no way to escape, they find themselves in an all-out war against pure and unrelenting evil. Well, okay, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. I mean, amusement park. That's an amusement park. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Epicenter to hell, gateway to hell. I don't know. I'll have to ask Mr. Moody and see if this is close. So he may be wrong. I may be wrong. I'm not really sure. All right. So our next one is called Blood Immortal. Looks like vampires. And it says, innocence dies, they don't. No reviews or cast or anything on this one. That's a long one. This is ITN. It's not rated, widescreen, 104 minutes. Horror. 104 minutes is going to be too long for this, I already know. Written, produced, and directed by Robert Joseph Butler. Doesn't look like it has anybody in it that I recognize. No special features are listed. 2019. So let's see. The vampire genre gets transcended and elevated in this intimate and equally thrilling saga with 3 stories that unfold in interlocking episodes. Blood Immortal explores the desperation and desires that unsettle the lives of its immortal vampire characters. A vicious land spectacular. No, a vicious land I'm not sure what that word speculator? A vicious land speculator? Okay. Mr. Duncan, Richard Tyson, subdues an offer to a dying widow and mother. Josephine subdues an offer to a dying widow and mother, Josephine. Why are those periods? Oh, to a mother. Yeah, it's not. That's why I'm having problems. I mean, I admit I'm not the best reader, but so subdues an offer to a dying widow and mother, Josephine. Okay, so she's both. So then this should be capital T, which it's not, that resorts to vicious. Oh my God. See, I even have problems. I shouldn't say anything about how they do this. Econ? To vicious Coercion. Coercion. Sorry. Coercion. I have no idea. Only 4 centuries later, Josephine, now herself fending for her daughter's survival after she drinks tainted blood, and a lonely economics professor forms an unlikely bond with one of her students who happens to be secretly a vampire. I have no idea. I mean, it's 3 stories that unfold in interlocking episodes. I have no idea. This sounds confusing to me. I mean, I already have enough problems reading stuff because if anybody's new out there watching, I am dyslexic, like really bad. So it's hard enough for me to read things, but it also helps me do these things when I read them. But sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me if what they're writing maybe doesn't make sense. And this looks like it's got periods that look like commas and lowercase letters that should be uppercase. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. I mean, I like the cover, but I don't know. Kind of turned off in a way. Our next one is called The Barge People. And it says, no one escapes. Satisfyingly gory from Starburst magazine. Looks kind of creepy. Kind of Creature from the Black Lagoon-ish. And who's this? So this is RLJE Films. And directed and produced by Charlie Steeds. 83 minutes, widescreen, not rated, 2018. The review at the top says, a pure adrenaline ride. That is from entertainmentfocus.com. A group of friends sets off for a relaxing weekend away on the, I just never know if it's me or the way it's done. A group of friends sets off for a relaxing weekend away on the channels of the glorious British countryside. Unaware of the flesh-eating mutants lurking in the water. Well, that's, somebody should have told them that. I guess it's not so glorious. Ready and waiting to feed. The Barge People is highly entertaining and satisfyingly gory film. Starburst magazine. Wow, okay. That took a turn. Oh, it's got a Shutter thing. Is this Shutter? Doesn't say Shutter, but it's got the Shutter thing in it. And this is the, yeah, the Shutter subscription for how long? 30-day trial. And it's got Shutter stuff on the back. Huh. I wonder if this is Shutter. Just doesn't say Shutter. Yeah, just doesn't say. Maybe I'll do some research. I have a little stack of Shutter movies from Dollar Tree, so it would be nice to put that one in it if it actually played on Shutter. All right, our next one is a documentary. It's heavy, and I mean emotionally heavy. So I'm kind of ending on a down note here. But I skipped on this a few times, not realizing what it was. And it is a film called Emmanuel. And it is so it says, the untold story of the victims and survivors of the Charleston church shooting. It's got its slip jacket. So here's its side. And yeah, so let's, yeah, because this has more than this. So let's see. Generous stories of unparalleled humanity. That's from Variety. Bonus feature, a conversation with Stephen Curry, and also a conversation with Viola Davis and Mark Izka, Hard or Harg It A. I'm sorry, I mess up these names. This is unrated, widescreen. It is color. It's from Universal. 2019. Let's see. Directed by Brian, could be IV. It's kind of squished together. So this is, and this really pissed me off when I heard about it. I mean, it really just, national headlines blazed the story. Churchgoers gunned down during prayer service in Charleston, South Carolina, after a 21-year-old white supremacist opened fire in Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. 9 African Americans lay dead, leaving their families and the nation to grapple with this senseless act of terror, featuring intimate interviews with survivors and family members. Emmanuel, from executive producers Stephen Curry and Viola Davis, co-producer, there's that name, Mar Iska Harg Itre, why? God, I just don't know how to pronounce this. Harg It Tay. I'm sorry, I'm just destroying it. And director Brian Ivy, The Dropbox, is a poignant story of justice and faith, love and hate, examining the healing power of forgiveness. So this is basically these people, and I'll just say this, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. Because I've mentioned it before, I'm an atheist, but this really angers me because even though I don't believe in God, if you're doing something that makes you happy and you're not hurting other people, if you do believe in God and you're in church and you're celebrating, you're minding your own business, you're with people that you like, and some asshole, this white supremacist came in, and he was welcomed, and he sat down, and they continued what they were doing. They brought him in, and basically he said, you know, I'm going to have to kill you now, and turned around and ended up shooting people. And this is a guy who, if the roles were reversed, if this was a white church and a black man came in and did this, the black man would be gunned down on the spot. I mean, he would have like 10 bullets in his head. But because this is a white shooter, he's basically let out with like a bulletproof vest on and taking the cord in a bulletproof vest, and that seems the problem with all these white shooters is they get treated very differently than if a shooter is brown or black. And you know, that angers me very much, that you know, if it doesn't matter what color you are. I mean, if you're going to go in and do a mass shooting, you should just be shot, you should just be killed. If not, then each person, white, brown, black, whatever it is, should be treated the same way, you know. But there is that stigma. So I have not watched this yet. I want to, but I know it's probably going to upset me, so I haven't watched it yet. So it's a very depressing and sad thing. So All right, so that's it. That's all of them. Okay, so we're going to recap, start where we ended. So we have Emmanuel. I keep saying Emmanuel, like the woman Emmanuel in the movies. It's Emmanuel. Sorry that I mispronounced that. It's just the name. It even looks like Emmanuel. Somebody on Facebook is I posted this with other movies and that I bought at Dollar Tree. And somebody even made the comment like, "Oh, is that Emmanuel in space or Emmanuel in Vegas?" And I'm like, "No. You're getting you're totally wrong." You know, and I do the same thing. The names are your brain just goes to Emmanuel. So I apologize. I don't mean to offend. And with the way my brain reads things. Yeah, so sorry, but serious subject, so don't mean to make jokes. The next one would be the Barge People. Then we have the confusing Blood Immortal. The Devils Fairground. Two Lovers. American Outlaws. Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest. Hawaii. Yeah. The Mercenary. And Voice from the Stone. All right, that's all of them. So thank you guys. I appreciate you hanging out, and I appreciate you putting up with my not so great reading skills. Like I said, I do it because I think you guys might be interested in what the movies are about. I know a lot of people who do these videos don't read the backs or anything. They just go, you know, oh look, here's a copy of, you know, Voice from the Stone. Here's the back. Next. I want to give you more than just that. I want you to know exactly what's going on with the movie and the special features and what it's about. So when you do go into Dollar Tree, you're like, oh, that's that movie. That sounds pretty cool. But unfortunately, because of my being, you know, me being dyslexic, it does cause a problem. So I really do appreciate you, you know, putting up with it. And I guess that's it. So, okay. So thanks, and I will see you on the next video. I don't know when another Dollar Tree video is going to come around. I am actually running out of stuff. I didn't think I would, but I am. So I'll just have to go check next week to see if there's anything new. But yeah, that's it. So thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything that you would like for me to do, you know, as far as these videos go, please let me know. If there's anything you don't like, please let me know, and I can stop it or modify it. Some people have said my videos are too long. Some people have said they don't like me reading the back of things, but let me know. I can always change it up. So yeah, I guess that's it. And I will talk with you later. Thanks. Bye.